wanting you to like stay up at night. Like I worked Saturday morning, and then like I got the D&D session that they want to do on Friday nights, and like, dude, I just can't fucking do it because they don't start until 7:00. So it's like I got like I go over there and I have like an hour of energy, and I'm like, I'm done.
It's even harder for me because like I'm on the East Coast now, so
Yeah.
I'm an hour ahead. And if anyone gets on and wants to play games or something, it's usually later at night. It's like, okay, 10 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock for me.
Yeah, especially fucking Jake. He'll text me at like 1 a.m. asking me about stuff. It's like, dude, I can't.
No, it's literally like 12:30, and I get a message like, "You want to get on Discord?" I'm like, "No, it's 12:30 in the morning. I need to go to bed. I have work in 5.5 hours, and I can't like." I think it's also the thing of, you know, not only his job but other jobs I've had where at a restaurant or something or retail, you can kind of half-ass it. You know, you can run on 2%, but at my job now, I can't just kind of like half-ass it.
Well,
Like,
see, and my problem is like I could push through the job, but then I just crash immediately after work, and then I'm just completely fucked up for the rest of the week.
Yeah, so choices. It's all right. Summer break is going to be awesome. I'll stay until
struggles of being
3 a.m. all the time.
Struggles of being a 27-year-old. It's like that in between of like, you know, being an actual. We're actual adults, but you know what I mean. Where it's like professionally and stuff, and then like we still have friends that are like the night owls.
They haven't quite progressed to the point that we're at yet, so they're still
everybody's in like that in between state. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. We just need to all get to where we are, and it will be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Get on Sunday morning, Saturday, whatever. All right, this is a podcast.
That's why I'm like, let's just do stuff Sunday.
Sunday's great. I'm missing football right now, but that's okay because they have replays.
Oh yeah. So. I would say, isn't it the Chiefs game?
No, I don't care about the Chiefs. Cowboys play at 4:30 though.
No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Never mind.
That's what I'm caring about. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gaming Block Podcast, your number one podcast for all of the pertinent video game news spanning across all platforms, including Ouya. What's a weird handheld? The Asus Rogue Ally.
You got the wrong co-host here to get you all the Ouya is basically the only one I know.
This is a dumpster fire already. I'm your host, Andrew Ronna, and I'm joined once again by one and a half of the coolest dudes in video games, Roger Brennan III. I think I just stole that. What I call you the bad boys of video games. The coolest dudes in video games was from this podcast I listened to like 10 years ago, where they had the two coolest guys in video games, which is where I got my inspiration for the bad boys of video games. Yeah, you're one of the bad boys of video games. Roger Brennan III. Roger, cool, thank you.
I'm bad.
Yeah, thank you for joining me today. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, we're back. Podcast. Wow, this is just a really bad train wreck. There's a gnat. This gnat, it's okay. The gnat saga continues because this started with Jake a month ago, and it's still here. But the thing is, so okay, have a seat. I know you're sitting down, but have a seat. Everyone listening, have a seat because this is a saga. So the gnat was here, and it's probably because I had soda cans laying around. And I was like, well, I should pick up after myself. Then the gnat will be gone. And it was. There were no gnats, except for in the living room. There was a period, about a 3-day period, where every time we sat down to eat, there'd be gnats flying around. And we're like, what the hell is going on? Where are they coming from? And then I was like, Susan, I bet it's your plants. You have plants living in our living room right now. And she's like, no, it's probably not the plants. Went over, picked the plants up, gnats. Flew right out of it. So we're like, okay, these are going out to the porch.
Good on you. I never would have even thought of that.
But yeah, because I've been there.
Plants, so
yeah, I've been in houses with plants, and the plants attract the bugs. So we moved the plants out. The living room situation, it's good now. We see one every once in a while, but for the most part, we don't see him anymore. But this little guy, this little bastard
escaped
in here, he's always here right when we're recording. He's never here any other time.
Is it one of the ones that like flies like right up to your face too? And you just
he flies everywhere, man. He'll fly to my face. You might see an up close shot of him. He'll fly up to the camera and say hi. He goes everywhere, and it's just like he likes the attention because it's only when we record.
Yeah,
he's like, it's my time to shine. Here I go. because I've been cleaning up too. I have an open pack of crackers, which I just opened, and some water.
Uh-huh.
This isn't gnat material. They like sugar and plants and things like that. So glad I got that out of my system. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
no,
video
I'm glad you did too. I didn't want that
games.
holding you over for the entire time.
It honestly would have. Like, it would have been in the back of my mind. I would have been shaking and convulsing the entire time because I had to get this off my chest. But it's fine. It's good. How are you?
I'm better than you are.
Better than
I
I
don't
have
gotta.
been.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get.
don't
I'm
gotta.
gonna get him
Don't
live
gotta.
on camera.
Yeah, and you've been sick too, so
Well, yeah, I've been a little under the weather. It's that time of year. Um, you know,
have
I
allergies
guess
been bad for you? Because allergies been bad for me.
no. And I'm the type of person where I didn't have allergies as a
I'm
child,
jealous.
and then I think it was around 2018, 2019, I started developing some sort of allergies. But I think it was like
Mm.
hay fever or something because moving back out east, I don't have allergies anymore. Like the pollen doesn't bother me. I think it was all the grass and stuff kicked up in there in the Midwest that was getting me. So
Yeah, maybe this year it's been like really bad too. It's like
yeah.
it's been setting me off like every day.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that because I know you're outside only all the time, so it's not
It doesn't
really an
help that it's
escape for you.
October and we're still getting 90-degree days.
That too. Not here though. The climate here is very nice. It's been in the 70s like every day the past few weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So,
It's gonna drop down to like 70 at the end of this week, and then it's gonna bump back up to like 85 or 86. And I'm just looking
it's
forward to those 2 days where it's like a nice 70.
where it actually feels like fall because we are officially in
Mhm.
fall. Yeah,
We're gonna get like a week and a half of fall, and it's gonna go right into winter.
that's what happens every single time, every single year.
I
It's
know.
always a week. You get fake fall, then it goes back to summer, then real fall for a week, and then you're freezing. And that's
Yeah, it
that's the
likes to
pattern.
juke you out. Like
Yeah, so we recommend Kansas. Real estate, cheap. Um, I'm just gonna jump into it.
she was real
Mortal
estate
Kombat
ditzy
1.
ass.
I've been playing
That's it. That's what
some
you've been
Mortal
playing.
Kombat. Yeah. And actually, I'm gonna do something wild here for a second, okay?
All right.
It said 0 minutes, 0 seconds, 0 hours, so hopefully it saved all that. But I'm still gonna just jump
Oh,
in.
mine's resuming, so we're good.
Okay, I'm gonna say we're good.
Or at least
Mortal
I'm
Kombat
good.
1. Uh, yeah, just I forgot how the whole flow of the show goes because it's been so long.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna do what I always do: wild card, chaos mode. I'm just jumping into it. Mortal Kombat 1 is freaking awesome. It's probably my favorite fighting game campaign I've ever played. Um,
Nice. They usually do a pretty good job with their campaigns.
yeah, and it's probably because I haven't played a Mortal Kombat campaign before, but I have played like Street Fighters, which Street Fighter 6, I really liked what they did with their campaign, where you created your own character and it was like this whole open world thing, and it felt fresh and new. But the Mortal Kombat 1 campaign, I think I'm 70% through it right now, and I love it so much because, as the title implies, it is a reboot, sort of, but it's also
Yeah.
like this kind of cross dimensional type thing where the old timeline
That's what
exists, but
11
then the
kind
new
of did.
timeline. Yeah. Um, but I really like it. It gives me a lot of Mortal Kombat the movie vibes, the one that came out a couple of years ago, which I personally enjoyed,
Nice.
where it's kind of grounded and it's showing the origins of all these characters. So I appreciate that. But then also just like the cinematography and the graphics and just everything about it. It's a freaking stunning game. And
Very cinematic.
yeah, hats off to it's NetherRealm, right? That makes this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, hats off to them because even like the transitions from the cinematics to the gameplay, it all is natural, Because before, like,
Now,
or go
no,
ahead.
I was gonna say you've played 11 and X, right? Not so
Yeah.
much the story, but you've played those games.
Hmm. Yeah, I've played. I
How
played the.
how how is it like combat wise compared to those games? Because there's like slight differences, but actually there's a decent amount. It's slight, but like if you're really into it, you know it immediately between
Mhm.
X and 11. So it's like, how is it from going to 11 to 1, or even
It
X to 1?
feels. It feels a lot like 11. They have the
Mm.
new little support character system going on now where it's your left bumper, and when you press that, the support character comes in and you can utilize them to like break combos, to add to your combo. They're even in like the what is it called when your health is almost down and you hit the triggers at the same time. uh
in 11, I don't know it, but it's
Whatever.
your little special move.
Yeah, but they'll like join in with you during your special move too and things like that. So there's a lot of interesting things with that. But other than that, it does feel more or less like Mortal Kombat. Um, since I think even the reboot in 2000, what was that, like 11,
9,
12, 9?
11.
I don't remember. But I feel like they've all kind of felt the same since the reboot.
What are we, a video game podcast news source?
Yeah, what? I mean, that's why we generalize. Since the Xbox 360 and PS3 version of Mortal Kombat. Oh, there you go. See? I knew it was like right at that mark because I got it on Vita. So I was like, it was one of those games that came out at the end of the PS3 and 360, but it also got ported to PS4 and it was on PS Vita. So I was like, it's got to be around that 2011, 2012 era of gaming. But no, it's really good. And I'm excited the trophies don't look annoying. There's not really any online ones. A lot of them are just like tower based or like do all these finishers or what fatalities and things like that. So I might dive deeper into that and actually try to get all the trophies because I enjoy playing it. It's a good time.
My only question is, do they have like a test your luck mode from X? Because I just want that to come back.
They have a test your might mode.
Okay, that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
That's like the tower thing, right?
Well,
they had Test Your Luck in Mortal Kombat X, and I loved playing that.
I don't know what Test Your Luck is. I know Test Your Might is just in the game.
All it is it's just a Mortal Kombat match, but it just adds a random modifier. You can choose how many random modifiers to add. And it was just so fucking chaotic, and I loved playing that with people, but they haven't had it since X, so
hopefully they brought it back because that does sound fun. I don't know though. I haven't messed with the tower. I've only done story so far. Like that's literally the only thing I have done is
You're good.
Play the story.
Actually learning to play the game.
Yeah, right. I got the trophy for beating the tutorial because I was like, I've played fighting games before, but you know, it won't hurt to play the tutorial, I guess. But yeah. So the only other thing I've been playing really is the Final Fantasy VII remake, and this is a game that I've already beaten quite a few times, but in the spirit of Rebirth being not imminent, but it's getting very close. I think it comes out in February, which is only 4 months away, which is not that long. I'm like, it's still time for a refresher, you know? Like, it's going to be here quicker than you think.
It'll be a good time for me to play it.
Yeah. It's a good time for you to watch the movie.
Coming out for January. Yeah.
Yakuza comes out in January. So, care about that?
Well, okay, so no. So you can play Yakuza while I'll play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
Have you given up on Final Fantasy 16?
No, I've not given up on it. I have
just got it on the back burner.
I've just paused so far. And unfortunately, we're getting to that point now where I've paused for so long, it might be the thing if I come back and I start over. I don't want to do that.
How far did you get in it?
I think my PlayStation said 60%. So a decent chunk, 2/3 of the way.
Okay. You got to the time skip and everything, right?
Oh yeah. Got quite a bit through the time skip, so we'll see. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. But anyways, enough about me. What have you been up to? What have you been playing?
Dude, I've just been playing Starfield. That's all I've been really playing. I've been tempted to get Mortal Kombat 1, but I need to just finish Starfield, and then I'm being peer pressured into Baldur's Gate 3. Then you got Alan Wake 2 coming out, and then I still haven't gone back and finished Armored Core 6. So it's very what's the word? A lot of
busy?
pressure on what I'm gonna do next. It's busy, and I'm like scared to like beat this game, but I'm almost done with it. I'm on the last faction quest line. I'm like halfway through the last faction one, and then I basically just have to beat the main story, which is I only have like a couple missions left.
Okay.
So dude, I don't know how many hours I've put into it. It tracks it for you, but I leave my game just running a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not a very valid tracker for me.
I'm checking right now.
But I've probably at least put.
I'm getting on.
I've
Xbox
probably put
right
at
now.
least 60 to 70 hours into it. Yeah, I don't know how valid that is though, because I just leave it on.
You know, it's something.
But
though.
no, I've been just absorbed in that game, dude.
Yeah. So just kind of like surface level review. I know you haven't beaten it, but you put the most time to it, because I did go back to Starfield and I tried it again.
I put a lot of time into it, and I understand. Like I think Ida said she tried it and it wasn't for her, and like I get it if it's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
And even like I have some like I have some problems with it. But like I don't know, if I was to give it an overall review, I would say if if as cliche as this sounds, if you like Bethesda games and if you like just these space exploration type games, think Mass Effect more than No Man's Sky. If you're cool with that, but not like it's a fun game. It's a fun time.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10 if I had to number it.
I checked your time, and yeah, I think the whole being left on thing is valid, because your Xbox says 137 hours, which is a bit.
Yeah, I don't think I've put that much into it, but I've probably put like at least 70 into it.
Yeah,
maybe
I just
80,
couldn't. There's just something where, and Fallout 4 is really it's the only Bethesda game I have beaten. The rest I've like tried to get into, but just don't really jive with it. And Starfield was kind of the same way, where I just, I gave it a try.
I wish there was like a radio in this game. Yeah, you gave it a good old college try.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is. Be what it be. If you enjoy Starfield, more power to you. I don't knock anyone for liking a game. It's just not for me. Sorry. But other than that, do you have anything else, or has that? It's just been Starfield for you?
No, that's in terms of playing video games. That's the only thing I've been doing.
Gotcha.
So
all right. Well,
I guess I've still been playing Divinity. So if that counts,
I think that counts. Yeah. You've been doing that on the side, and I think that'd be perfect if you're going to do the Baldur's Gate 3 thing. Once you beat Divinity, just go right in. It's like the same thing. You still have that kind of like balance going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, I guess with that in mind, it's once again time for everyone's favorite segment, the gaming riddle.
Woo!
All right. So the riddle for this week is as follows. Use your blocks to build a base. Use a shield to protect your face. Defeat bosses to increase your power. Hardcore mode makes this game sour. You get...
Is it Minecraft?
It's not Minecraft. That's one. You get 4. Right. So that was 1.
I feel like you deceived me a bit. It felt like it was worded to make it seem like it was Minecraft.
I put the word block in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that's just block and Minecraft is just 1-to-1 in my head.
Yeah.
Use blocks to build base. Use shield to protect your face. Defeat bosses to increase your power. Hardcore mode makes this game sour.
That is the riddle.
Is it like a 2D game?
Yes, it is 2D.
It is 2D, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Terraria?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. It's not Minecraft, it's Terraria.
Yeah, I was a little worried because I was really banking on the whole Minecraft throwing you off. But also, I was hoping you would ask more questions than just guessing is it Minecraft right away. It's all right, though.
I'm sorry. I didn't make it very fun.
Hey, you did good, though. You got a point. You're only 8.5 away from Jake.
I gotta... See, that's the thing. I gotta, like, make it seem like when I when I do know it or I'm on it, I gotta go big or go home. I gotta make it seem like I know it the first try, like Jake does, because he does that like every fucking riddle.
He does. He ruins the riddles for me and everyone. Quite frankly, no one likes the riddle when Jake's doing it because
Yeah,
it's too easy. All right,
poor Ida's not even on the scoreboard.
poor kid. Maybe one day. Moving on. Meta on my mind. Roger, we got 3 new Metacritic games that I felt were important enough to put on this list. The first one, Fate/Samurai
Sure.
Remnant, which is a Koei Tecmo game. It's a what are those one games called? You know, Dynasty Warrior, or whatever. I don't know what the technical
Okay.
term is, but it's one of
Is
those.
it made by the same people that do them?
Yeah. It's made by the same developer.
Okay.
It comes out on PC, PS5, PS4, and Switch, and it has an 82. So pretty solid. If you're a fan of that,
they're making a fake game. That's kind of cool.
yeah. The fake games, I don't want to say one a year, but it is. They come out pretty regularly. Like you'd be surprised how many there are.
Pretty often.
Yeah. So
I mean, I guess it technically started as a game, so
yeah, it was a mobile game, right?
it was a visual novel.
Oh, it wasn't. No, gotcha.
I think so.
Well, moving on. EA Sports FC24 comes out for PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. That's all. Has 76. This is, of course, the new FIFA because FIFA is dead, and we will talk about that later. Rest in peace, I guess. And then Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty has released for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. No PS4 or Xbox One iteration, and it has an 89. This, of course, is the long-awaited expansion. That release coincided with 2.0 of Cyberpunk, and people seem to like it. Apparently, the game is...
Oh, yeah, people are loving Cyberpunk right now.
Did you see the commercial for it, or the trailer?
No, I've been pretty blind on it.
I like the
because
trailer.
I know I'm eventually going to play it, so I've just been pretty blind on it.
Yeah, I only watched it because I heard that it was pretty wild. And the last line of this trailer, and it's a live action trailer, but it's Idris Elba, and he like has a gun and points at the camera and says, "The game is fixed," and then he shoots it. I was like, that is a ballsy move to say the game is fixed.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, Idris Elba now on that game. Jesus
dude,
Christ!
They just got all the best actors. I swear, like it's honestly the biggest pull for me for this game is like the actors. Obviously Keanu, but then getting.
It's funny, like these last like 5 years, Idris Elba's been doing a lot of shit that he doesn't normally do, and it's kind of cool.
It's great. I love him. He's awesome. So like keep doing it, please. I'll buy anything with him in it. Yeah, anything. Even those questionable Steam games. I'll buy them. I don't care. Those are your big games. Those are your big Metacritic scores for the last week. EA, FIFA, or Football Club, whatever we call it, 76. Sounds about right. They're same game every year. But that Fate and Cyberpunk games, they sound decent enough with 80s. With that being said, though, going to move on to our top 100 ranking. And Roger, we are officially 10 years in the past. Slowly but surely getting to the Back to the Future.
It's going to get harder and harder from this point on.
You think so? I think it's going to be easier.
Yeah, I do. No, dude. We're going to get the mid 2000s. It's going to be really rough. And then the late, I think all of 2000s actually. And then the late 90s. It's just going to be like rough as shit. And then what do we do once we go like back and we start getting shit to like Pac-Man and Dig Dug and Galaga when we're that far back? How do we handle those games?
I mean, there's still games and they didn't have, I think kind of like what we've been doing is that we'll just like try to figure out what was its original release because like Pac-Man, there's a million versions of Pac-Man, but what's the original best version, like probably not the Atari version. It's probably going to be the arcade version of Pac-Man.
Man, we're gonna get some of those older games. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking missed. Like, there's so many of them.
Yeah. So, but we're in 2013, and let's see, 2013 video games. So 2013, oh, not a terrible year, quite a bit. I'm gonna do some ballsy again. I'm gonna stop.
BioShock Infinite. That's right. You're like, it's good compared to other games. I'm like, the first one's better in every way. Maybe not every way, but every way. Uh, I think if, like, did we put any of the new Doom games or the Wolfenstein games? Because I actually think those are better than BioShock Infinite.
I think we put Doom Eternal on
Okay.
here.
All right.
Maybe we.
It's
didn't.
up to you. I think Doom Eternal is better than BioShock Infinite. I'll say that.
Yeah, we didn't put Doom Eternal.
It's up to you. We can, because we're gonna whittle it down. I think if we're gonna, I'd rather put the first one than Infinite. And I like Infinite. I do. I'm not trying to talk shit on it, but
I won't put it. I think the thing is, it gets a lot of hate, and I think it gets a little too much hate.
I agree.
And I'm trying to overcorrect a little bit, but it's probably not one of the best.
100% agree. It gets way too much hate. I think it's a really good game. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got Last of Us. We got, what else we got? GTA
Grand
5.
Theft Auto 5. Yep. Stanley Parable.
You already put that. You had the Ultimate Deluxe Super Cool Edition.
So technically, I think that is a sequel.
No, it's not. It's the main game, and then it's
is?
like, yeah, and it's like it has the sequel like on top of it. In fact, it kind of pokes fun of just the concept of sequels, but it is like the base game there.
All right, here's a hard one. Oh, actually, before we get to that, Papers, Please.
Papers, Please.
That's a good game.
It was neat.
It's a neat little game.
Stressful. Dota 2. Do you want to put that on there?
If you want to, I have no MOBA anything.
I don't like MOBAs, so I'm not the person to ask. So
I don't either. What about Outlast?
Okay. Outlast is the horror game. It's the horror game where you hide, right? Like, it's like,
yeah, you play as the cameraman and whatever, and yeah, you're hiding.
And you hide, night vision. I think we have to decide if we'd rather do Outlast or the first Amnesia game.
Amnesia, then.
Okay.
Easily, because I'm fine. Yeah,
because I feel like they're kind of similar games.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I think Amnesia. Yep. I think Amnesia just does what Outlast does better. Yeah. You know, Outlast kind of like popularized it, so I kind of feel bad about that.
Well, I don't know about that, because Amnesia definitely, like, especially with YouTubers and stuff like that, Amnesia was very popular, but they just took so long to make a sequel, because I think they had a Machine of Pigs, but that was like, it's like 8 years later or something. It was a ridiculous amount of time. So I don't know. Here's my problem, and we're gonna start running into this a lot: The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, and The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD. Both came out this year.
So in terms of A Link Between Worlds, I like it. I don't think it's the best even like 2D Zelda game. Jake would disagree. Jake fucking loves that game. So definitely. we might put it on there for him in terms of the 2D Zeldas. Wind Waker. Do you like Wind Waker or Twilight Princess better?
I mean, Twilight Princess is the better one.
For me, I'd rather put Twilight Princess than Wind Waker.
Yeah. It's just hard thinking of a top 100 list, and it's like, oh, Wind Waker's not on there. You know?
Yeah, I know.
But Twilight Princess is just, in every single category, except maybe graphics, it's the better game. You know? So
good news is we can kind of put it off until we get there, because we'll run across it again since that's the HD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll put A Link Between Worlds because, yeah, Jake loves it. And then also, I do think that for remaking A Link to the Past in 2013, it did a really good job at that.
It did. And I don't know. It was just like, I like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the whole wall stuff was just another Zelda gimmick. It was
Yeah.
kind of cool being able to rent all the different items, but to me, it also just felt like most of the puzzles just didn't involve those items, so it kind of like took
Yeah.
away from the point of it. I
Yeah.
just like Link to the Past more, but that's me. I know Jake really likes it,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm fine with putting it on there.
I think there's only
Gone Home's cool, but I don't know.
I
It's not.
was I was gonna say so Gone Home, which I think is a cool experience, and I think it was like one of those games where the only argument I would make for it is that it was a game that kind of defined walking simulator.
Yeah,
Like I don't think walking simulators were really a thing until Gone Home, where literally all you do is walk.
yeah.
You know?
You walk and you just uncover the story, and
Yeah.
yeah. So you're like you said, it's a neat experience.
Tomb Raider, which was the reboot of the series. I really like Tomb Raider, but I also know that it is a poor man's Uncharted, like through and through. It is not like it's not
I gotta feel the
special.
same.
You know, it is what it is.
Path of Exile is cool, but like it's got all that free to play shit on it.
I think the only other one that I'd be like, yes, and this is a discussion we can have, is Final Fantasy 14. Because I do think today, and I didn't put it in my what I'm playing right now, but I've been playing a shitload of 14, like a lot of 14. And as far as MMOs go, it is like the quintessential perfect MMO.
Yeah.
But in 2013, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're not really playing by that rule set anyways. I think, like you said right now, yeah, it's like the MMO. But I think we can't do this list and not put World of Warcraft is the thing.
Yeah, so, for sure.
We could add it. I think that's fine. I think we could add it, and then
we could compare them. We can have a discussion about them.
What about the Metro games? Do you think any of them should go on this list?
I don't think so. I really do like them, and I like.
I might make an argument. I might make an argument for the first one when we come to it.
2033.
Yeah, I might make an argument for that one. But Last Light came out in 2013.
When was Metro? Was that 2010, 2009?
I think. Was it, or was it 11?
Metro 2033 came out in 2010.
Yeah. So I might be fighting for that game when we get to that year, but Last Light's still pretty good. But
all right. Well, other than that, I think that the rest of like Payday 2, Injustice, Crysis 3, like they're fine games, but none of these are like screaming best of all, except Call of Duty Ghost. That is actually the best first person shooter ever made. So we should put that.
It's and fish that swim out of your way.
Before anyone complains and cries, the Super Mario 3D World, I actually just beat it, but it's like not it's fine. You know, it is what it is.
Again, maybe Jake would say otherwise, but I'm not going to make an argument for it.
Yeah, I'm not either. If he wants to bring it up the next time he shows up, by all means. But other than that, I think GTA 5, The Last of Us, A Link Between Worlds, and Final Fantasy 14 for 2013 sounds about right.
I think that's a pretty good for that year. Yeah, I think that's the best we're going to get.
Yeah. And it's funny because looking back at this, it really does remind me how freaking barren the Xbox One and PS4 were when they launched. New games were, and you look at the year after Mario Kart 8, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Master Chief Collection, it's like we didn't have shit till Bloodborne, you know, or Ori. So, all right.
It's 2012, just for curiosity's sake.
Just get a little heads up at 2012.
Dude, 2012 is going to be rough.
Like in terms of good games, or
in terms of good games.
Like there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Persona 4 Golden right there. Our number one. We found it.
We got Persona 4, Black Ops 2. We got the Walking Dead Telltale game.
Oh my God.
Created that entire studio, basically. Borderlands
Far
2.
Cry 3, Mass Effect. Oh my God. 2012. Yep. We ended the 360 and PS3 with a banger.
Yeah, we did.
We said we're going out with a bang.
XCOM, Dragon's Dogma. It's all
Fez. You remember Fez? Fez was one of those like first indie games where it's like, oh my god, Fire Emblem
Oh,
Awakening. Yeah, we'll have a
Fire Emblem
conversation.
Awakening. Yeah.
We'll talk about 2012 next time. Oh my god, 2012
Yes.
is good year.
It's 2012 is gonna be hard.
Yeah, yeah. But that'll have to wait. For now, Roger, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So I work with a lot of little ones now, and I want to talk to them about video games, but I'm not sure where I should start. So, what game would you use to introduce someone to gaming? Doesn't have to be a child. Could be an adult. Anyone. Yeah.
The first thing you got to do is you got to figure out what they like, right? It's like
Okay.
it's like when somebody asks me like I want to get back into reading, or I want to start something, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like, well, what do you like, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like so like you kind of got to do a little bit of research, a little bit of demographic, figure out what they're into. I think Minecraft's always a safe option, you know what I mean?
It's very simple, and it's very like the controls are easy. You hit a thing, you
Yeah.
get the thing, you put the thing down, it's there.
That's the thing. You need something with like pretty like easy controls to pick up,
Mm-hmm.
intuitive stuff. And honestly, like first person games alone kind of make that hard, cuz like people who have not played a first person game, it's rough for
They
them to kind of.
say they're like, "Where am I? Where's my
Yeah.
character?" They don't
Yeah.
understand how the camera works and stuff. Yeah, so
Well,
like
and
third
just
person.
moving and looking at the same time, like really is like there's a learning transition there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so I know you're still thinking about it, but like
Good.
your initial your initial answer wasn't Mario or Zelda 1. Do you think like those older games are something where you should start where we started, or like it is okay to start with, because I'm of the mindset that you can start with 3D. You can start with a game that came out
Oh
this year,
yeah.
and
Oh
that's fine.
yeah. Dude, if I know like what they're gonna like, I'm gonna point them to the best thing I can find for that, and that's not always the older stuff.
Hmm.
Mario is kind of a safe bet, but I think people play Mario and they're like, all right, that was cute, but like that's not like worth putting hundreds of hours into, like they see their friends or significant others do. So it's
I
like,
also I also don't think with Mario, because I found this interesting. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking to someone and they were like, "Yeah, I play video game. I've played some video games, but oh, you know what? I think it's one of Susan's old coworkers, because they were talking about The Last of Us, and they didn't know it was a game, and they said I thought video games were just Mario,
mm-hmm.
like that was
Yeah,
all they could do. So if I was like introducing someone to video games, I think I would stay away from those more gamey games and be like, hey, this is what maybe I show them Destiny 2 first, or something like The Last of Us, and then also Mario. I'm hitting all these pillars of
yeah,
find your
hit
taste.
yeah, hit some of the things they might not know about, because that's honestly, I think I would try and find like a really cool story based game that they could maybe get hooked into. I
Yeah.
think Last of Us is kind of the perfect example. Plus, you put that game on the easiest difficulty and it's fine.
Yeah.
um so maybe something along those lines, or like you want to talk about like Mass Effect in terms of like how much you can influence the narrative. uh
Yeah. Absolutely.
then those games got like gaming mechanics to it that you just have to kind of like get
Yeah,
through.
learn. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And it's why I do think also when it's like comes to 3D games, unless you are going for something like Minecraft or something simple, I do think it's not a terrible idea to go back to like the PS2 era and 360 era, where it was very rudimentary and controls were very easy because they're teaching everyone how to do 3D. So then it's like you don't hop into Call of Duty or whatever, and it's first person shooter, and they expect you to know how to crouch, how to sprint, how to slide, how to do all these things. It's like the original Call of Duty was move and shoot. It didn't even have a jump button, I don't think.
I think the Telltale games would be a pretty good starting point.
Yeah, yeah. Walking Dead, really good.
Yeah, those are really just very simple games, but they are games, and it is
Yeah.
like it's like what people like in games, which is you having influence, this like your choices mattering and affecting the story.
Yeah. I also think Zelda, because I know
Zelda's pretty
Susan's
good.
Susan's kind of a gamer now, honestly, but I do think her playing Breath of the Wild was something where it's like it's very at your own pace. do what you want, which can sometimes be kind of daunting too, because she kept asking like, what do I do? Where do I go? And it's like, well, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's up to you. So, but yeah. So, okay, cool. Interesting stuff. I'm preparing for when I have kids. Like, what am I going to give them first? It's going to be
well, they're gonna grow up watching you play games, so they're gonna just like naturally pick it up.
it'll be Bloodborne. That'll be the first game they play.
Yeah. Just push them into the water. They'll learn to swim.
Sink or swim, kid. They're either going to be the best gamer ever, or they're never going to play games.
Hate it. Yeah.
I hate that stuff. All right, let's move on to the news. 17 hours later, which is funny because the actual recording time is like not that much. We probably haven't even broken an hour yet, but you know,
on the actual recording time, yeah,
it is.
Fucking, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Nintendo Direct happened. It happened actually a little bit ago, but I'd be hard pressed not to talk about it. Some big things that were announced. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door HD is happening. Jake was ecstatic about this. This is one of his favorite games of all time. I've never played it personally.
I haven't either.
Okay, so we both probably didn't care that much, but I don't know about you. I am intrigued, and I think this is finally a good opportunity for me to play this game.
Same. It will be a good opportunity. It'll be a good excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I don't want to. I mean, I have my GameCube somewhere, but I don't want to go out and spend $100 on a GameCube game. You know.
Yeah.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake is coming out February 16th of next year. This is a remake of the original GBA game. I like that Nintendo's kind of found this toy graphic style where some of their games just look like toys, and this is one of them. Really appreciate that. They're also continuing with the 99. They had originally Tetris 99, then Pac-Man 99, which recently shut down. But F-Zero 99 is the newest one, where it's exactly what it sounds like. 99 players all at once are racing in F-Zero. And I don't know about you, but this sounds perfect. This sounds like
pretty cool.
The actual, like, Tetris was interesting. Pac-Man made no sense. But this, 99 racers at once?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that. It's just it's a neat idea.
Yeah. Apparently it's really good too. I haven't played it yet. Princess Peach Showtime, which is the official title for that Princess Peach game we got a little teaser of back in, I think it was the June Direct right before E3, or not E3, Summer Game Fest, whatever. I'm going to call it E3 for the next 10 years. Yeah. It got a little gameplay trailer and release date for March. This game's it looks cute. It looks like it's not just another Mario game. It has its own little unique gameplay styles and stuff. So interesting enough. I'm also a big Peach fan, so I'll probably get it. Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, not the new ones. The original PlayStation 1 Tomb Raider games are getting an HD port to the Switch, and I'm sure these will probably make their way to Xbox and PlayStation eventually sometime.
Mm-hmm.
This one's interesting because I think it's Embracer that owns the rights to this now, because they bought Crystal Dynamics, and Crystal Dynamics got it from the 4 other people that had it before them. Because I don't know if you know the history of the Tomb Raider games, but like
Kinda.
10 different developers has owned this IP throughout its life. It's ridiculous. But Embracer, I think we talked about last podcast, they're not doing so good. And they're actually starting to shutter studios. And I forgot to mention it. I didn't put it in the news anywhere. Reminded me about the Knights of the Old Republic remake after we talked about this direct.
Okay.
Something's going on with it. Something's happening. Nothing good.
Probably scary. Oh, something good? Okay.
No, nothing good.
Oh, well, yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Anyways, look out for those. I actually like the old Tomb Raider games. Hopefully the controls are good and they're not tank controls like they were back in 1997 or 8.
Everything was tank controls. It was just awful.
We were talking just a minute ago about games to introduce with. I said PS2 for a reason, because PlayStation 1 and N64 nailed it. That's the weird thing, is they got it.
But you definitely nowadays you got to learn the dual analog controller. Like, you just got to learn it.
Yeah. Those So fingers crossed that their controls are good. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is being ported. This is the is it okay? I don't actually. I'm reading this right now. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD was already in development, but today's direct gave us a new look at the trailer. Isn't this Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon or whatever it's called? That was for 3DS.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just calling it Mansion 2 HD. They got rid of the subtitle. That's confusing. Don't do that.
That is weird. Yeah.
I don't like that because I was like, is this a new game? Like, are they just? I know they made 3, but I don't know. Splatoon 3 got a new little expansion trailer, whatever. If you're a squid now, or you're a kid now. I think Jake's the only one that's like mildly interested in Splatoon, but even then, I don't think he plays Splatoon.
Yeah, he's like positive on it, but he also like doesn't really play it. So
yeah, I'm positive on it in the sense of as like a tech demo, I think it's great, you know, but as an actual game, it's just so I'm not into it, and I hate the aesthetic of it. I really kind of hate everything about it, except the gameplay. The gameplay's fine; it's unique. But we'll see. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is a 2D Ubisoft reboot, reimagining. I don't know what you want to call it. Of Prince of Persia got another trailer, and it's still slated to launch in January of next year. This game looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping that will be cool.
I think people were unfairly negative towards this because of, it's a 2D game, it's a budget game. This isn't really Prince of Persia or whatever. It's like, well, it doesn't mean it's
we haven't
bad.
really had Prince of Persia in like a decade, so
at least I think the 360 was the last time the actual Prince of Persia game came out. So, which they were doing those remasters or remakes or something, and then they delayed it because of COVID, and then they disappeared from the face of the earth. But every once in a while, we get confirmation that it's still in development. So, I don't know. Also shown new trailer for Super Mario RPG. It's coming out next month. Cool. Trombone Champ is coming to Switch. I know you're hyped for that.
It's amazing.
I actually just 100%ed this on Steam.
Oh my god, you would.
I cannot imagine playing this game with a controller. I can't. Yeah. It was a pain in the ass to play it with a mouse. Yeah. Because it's so precise. It is a silly game, though. And I do recommend it if you get it for like, I don't know, $5, maybe $10. Nothing more than that. I want to spend more than that. Dave the Diver, also coming to Switch. This is one of those hidden gems of the year. If you haven't heard about Dave the Diver, it's a kind of a dual gameplay where you spend the nights diving to gather equipment and resources so you can run your restaurant during the day. And it's like one of the best reviewed games of the year. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Another look at Mario Kart DLC, blah, blah, blah. Detective Pikachu Returns got a new trailer that's out in like 4 days or something like that. And then some Amiibo updates, but who cares about Amiibo anymore? Like literally no one. Actually, no one cares about Amiibo. Horizon Chase 2, which is a racing game, is out now. Another Code Recollection was also announced, which is a collection of Another Code 2 Memories and its sequel, Another Code R, which are visual novels, I believe, that came on the Nintendo DS. They're going to be on Switch now. Saga Emerald Beyond is a Square Enix game from the Saga series. Roger, I know you love the Saga series. Actually, you might. You like JRPGs. Have you ever played Saga?
I like Square Enix. No, I never played Saga.
Saga games, I have them. I haven't played them. I've heard they're good, though. And apparently, they're still kicking it, too. They're still making them. So,
good for them.
Check out the trailer. Unicorn Overlord. Now, this one, I'm very intrigued in. Because, A, it's published by Atlas. And B, it's made by Vanillaware, who made the 13 Sentinels Igus game.
Okay.
Which people raved about. And then before that, I think they were the ones that made like Etrian, no, not Etrian Odyssey. They made I don't know, other good games.
It looks like a neat game.
They make really good games. Usually their stories are like top notch, and then the gameplay is simplistic, but also you can get a little in depth into it. But yeah, anytime I see Vanillaware, I'm like on it, onto it. And then lastly, it's not the last one. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make it the last one. No one cares about WarioWare. Move it. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which is the spiritual successor to the Suikoden series. And it had that prequel come out last year, I believe. It is still slated for an April 2024 release.
Was it a Kickstarter game?
It was. This is one of those rare Kickstarter games now. I don't know if you noticed, but they're all gone. Like we kind of realized that those were bad ideas, but this was a Kickstarter game, or is a Kickstarter game. And I think it also got funding from Xbox, maybe. It got funding from someone. Or maybe I'm thinking they released it on Game Pass, the prequel, so maybe that's what I'm thinking. But I believe it is from some of the guys that did Suikoden. And Suikoden is really famous for having like these huge rosters of characters, like 100 characters. And Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes is going for that type of style too.
Nice.
So, yeah. But that's it for the Direct. Roger, did you watch the Direct?
Nope.
Did you care about it?
Not really. I'm going to be honest with you.
And even after, is there anything here that's even intriguing to you?
Just some of the ones you told me about specifically that you're like, you might like this one. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I might like it.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely getting into that stage now where everything announced for the Switch is like, oh, this is getting ported, or they're remaking this, or, they're like, Mario remake, Donkey Kong remake, DLC, things like that. It's like, okay, we get it.
Look, it's cool, and like some of those stuff are cool, and I'm sure I might want to check some of that down the line. It's just this year's there's just too much shit, dude, for me to care about some of this stuff. Like, I'm sorry.
Right? Like, who's caring about Splatoon DLC this year?
Yeah, like, Splatoon and Tomb Raider. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. You see all this other shit coming out?
It's like, oh yeah, I don't think
the reason I'm looking at the Mario remakes is because I know Jacob loves them to death. So,
yeah, and what a bad time. I mean, like, honestly, it really is a terrible time to do those because it's like people regard Mario RPG as like they say it's one of the best RPGs. Yeah, I'd argue that most of them haven't played a lot of RPGs. Yeah. But don't get me, I'm sure it's a great game. Like I'm sure, especially for the time, it was a really good RPG.
Well, especially if like, you played it when you were younger, it was probably your first like introduction to that type of RPG. So I can see if it does it well and you absolutely loving it.
Yeah, but in a year where there's like Baldur's Gate 3 and Final Fantasy 16,
of RPGs that are like at the best they've ever been. Yeah.
Diablo 4 and all these other RPGs where it's like, and of course they're unique in their own different ways, but they're also huge time sinks and commitments. And it's like,
well, even like JRPGs, like didn't Octopath 2 come out this year?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, and it's just like, I'm not saying they're bad. It's just like I only got so much on my plate.
Yeah. And having the term RPG in the title is just like already a turnoff after playing so many RPGs. And then you're pitting it against a Mario game, Mario Wonder, which comes out only a few weeks before it. And then also like fucking Spider-Man 2 is showing up too to this party and things like that. So it seems like really bad timing. This would have been like the perfect March game, February, March, or April. Like throw it in there when there's not the big releases.
When is the Persona remake coming out? Isn't that coming out around that time?
Yeah, it is. Honestly, looking at early next year, so Yakuza 8's coming out, Tekken 8's coming out, Persona 3 Reload is coming out. There's a million more things coming. Like those first 2 or 3 months is actually really packed. So maybe there is no good time.
It's not stopping anytime soon.
No. I think the only slow month of this year was July when Pikmin released.
And even that tactics RPG you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. But fuck, I still gotta play Fire Emblem Engage, dude. Like,
right. It's like, I don't know.
don't get me
Maybe we're
started
hitting.
on Marvel Midnight Suns.
I liked what I played.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, I'd love to play that game. I can't.
Yeah. It's like maybe if I'm on a camping trip and deserted and it's the only game I have, then sure, yeah, I'll play it. But yeah,
I need to take a week off of work just to catch up on stuff. I'm sure my
the
boss
direct
will
was.
understand.
It's important. It's homework. Say it's
Yeah.
for your other job that you
Yeah.
don't get paid for.
Yeah.
But
For
yeah,
my Kickstarter.
this direct seemed fine. I mean, cool things. If you only play on Switch and that's it, looks cool.
Or if you really like those Mario games like Jake, like I'd get it, right? Like for you to be excited about that.
But it's hard for me to be like, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remaster. Whoa! Trombone Champ. Oh my god!
Trombone Champ. I take it back. Trombone Champ's gonna be great. I want to get that.
It's actually a really funny game. Like it embraces that it's like a meme game.
Yeah.
The main theme of the game is baboons. Like it's really funny actually. So, all right, we'll leave that there. Nintendo, keep doing your directs. I'm not going to talk about the PlayStation Direct only because, well, ironically, I didn't want to make this a long show, and it's still not a terribly long show. But I felt like there wasn't too much announced at it. The PlayStation Portal is coming out in November, and I'm very excited for it. I think that thing is going to be highly utilized in this household. Because I already used the Backbone a lot, so having like a dedicated thing for the PS5 is gonna be good. But you didn't remind me, but I remembered Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
I completely forgot. I'm glad you remembered.
We don't know what's happening, although I think PlayStation confirmed that it is still in development. But
that's more than we did know because a lot of us were just like, it got canned.
It's true, but also I've been around this industry long enough to know that doesn't really mean shit. Like they don't actually know anything, but all the trailers have been removed and taken down, and all announcement tweets of the game have been deleted.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
And the original excuse was, oh, it had copyright music on it. It's like, okay, but why'd you delete the tweets?
Yeah. I think we're going to get some bad news on that game, and I'm not even shocked.
I think this game had problems before, and we heard about the development problems like a year ago, and then now Embracer has no money, and they've already canned studios like Volition, like they're gone. I don't think this game is going to happen.
No, I don't either. It sucks because it would have been really cool to get it, but...
Well, okay, I should say, I don't think it's going to happen with them. I think this game will happen eventually. But I think, who was it, Aspire or someone making it? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was Aspire who did something. Obviously. They
called it
a thing called List of Aspire Games. How long can I drag this out? It seems like they port a lot of games.
And that was the thing. I remember that. Yeah, it was Aspire Media.
Yeah, because they ported the original KOTOR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they're doing Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered, which is coming to everything. I see right here. It's coming to Windows, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. But that's the thing, is like they're a porting studio. That's all they do is port things. Ever. And then, like, with the original Knights of the Republic, when they did port it, they kind of struggled porting it.
Yes, and so sometimes that can still work, right? Like it's like their chance in porting, and they know about it. Like that doesn't make that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But considering that it's been Bravo Dark for years now, and now this,
it's been 2 or 3 years, and yeah, not good stuff.
No, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Although you never know, because I think the Quantic Dream Star Wars game we still haven't heard a peep of, but I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure it's well in development.
Maybe they're just
So.
playing it really close to their chest because it's Star Wars. So who knows?
Maybe. I also know that actually for both of those, the Aspire and the Quantic Dream Studios, that what they showed was what they had because they had just gotten the deal, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we have to announce this right now," which I will always say is stupid. Do not do that because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like most people are in the same mindset. Like we've been burned so many times. We're just like, just wait. Like
we don't need to hear about Cyberpunk for 8 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or Elder Scrolls 6. What are we on, year 5 now? Since that's been announced?
Dude,
it's been a while.
They announced that like really quickly after Fallout 4, and it's been a minute.
We'll get there eventually. So, anyways, keep your eye out for the Knights of the Old Republic remake. We pray and hope that it can live up to half the game Final Fantasy VII remake is, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next news story: Jim Ryan, the CEO, the president of SIE, he's retiring. The sun is setting once again for a PlayStation CEO. After 25 plus years at the company, Jim Ryan is finally calling it quits. His announcement came to a shock for many, as PlayStation under his leadership has seen nothing but success. While some of his decisions have been viewed as anti-consumer, examples are attempting to close the old PSN store, focusing more on AAA games, and the closure of beloved studios like Studio Japan, there is no argument that PlayStation has been a resounding success under his leadership. The PS5 has broken sales records in a time where getting one was nearly impossible due to the pandemic. He also helped change the PlayStation Plus subscription model, bringing more options to subscribers. In March of next year, he'll be out the door, free to enjoy his life and reflect on the legacy he helped build. Man, I love how I typed this up and wrote it. Like,
very artistic.
Sony president and COO Hiroki Totoki will fill the position in a temporary state while the next SIE president is chosen. There are many potential candidates for the job, but, in my opinion, ex-Guerrilla head Hermen Hulst seems the most likely. He led Guerrilla through the Killzone series and its transition into the Horizon series, which has quickly become one of PlayStation's most popular franchises. In 2019, he stepped away from the head of Guerrilla to become president of PlayStation Studios. Hulst's intrinsic knowledge of PlayStation and continued success makes him an obvious candidate for the position. Roger, do you care that Jim Ryan's gone?
Not that much. Good for him. I think it's fine that he gets to retire.
Yeah. I kind of care. A little bit. PlayStation under Sean Layden, I really liked it. Because Sean Layden, during the PS4 era, he was all about, let's make video games. And, that's when PlayStation Japan Studios, which has been killed for Team Asobi, they were churning out games left and right. And PlayStation was really hard on the Indies initiative. And they're really, big on, hey, make what game you want to make. And as long as it's good, we'll say, okay, go. Jim Ryan is very much so, God of War was good, make Ragnarok. Last of Us 2 was good, make Last of Us Part 3.
Gotcha.
AAA, big budget. Oh, Concrete Genie wasn't good, shutter that studio. Japan studio, they don't make Last of Us money, close down the studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what I meant by when I said, I don't care all that much. Because, I don't know. I'm always, there's, a part of me that's excited to see what a new person is going to bring to the table. See how it changes.
Yeah. And I think for PlayStation as a whole, they are doing very good. And most of the things they do, I like. But I think there could be some things where they could, improve a bit.
It's kind of like you said, where it's it's been great, but at the same time, we've been getting a lot of sequels, not a lot of new IPs per se. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sequels have been great too, don't get me wrong, but...
And then a lot of the games that have been greenlighted and in development during Jim Ryan's tenure or 5-year here is live service games. That's the big thing right now. I think there's 10 or 20 live service PlayStation games in development right now.
I kind of hate that. So
do too, right? It's because all that dev time could have been made into 30 smaller games.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have your Last Guardians in there, but that's fine because you're still getting your Gravity Rushes and your Hot Shots Golf or whatever. I'm naming all Japan studios, but there are other things too in all this. Your journeys and things like that.
Hopefully, the new guy, whoever it'll be, will not fuck it up.
We'll see. I'm surprised too because I think. Let me just look it up. SIE president history, because I think Sean Layden was there not too long either. But I don't remember. My point is, I think Phil Spencer's now going to go through 3 heads of Sony when he's been the head of Xbox. Like he's been head of Xbox. He's gone 1, 2, 3 for his competitors, which is interesting because I would argue PlayStation's done better than Xbox the entire time Phil Spencer's been in charge. But maybe it's also that thing of Phil's riding the ship, or he was right. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's just buying things now. He's just spending his endless cash. But maybe it was that thing of Xbox was in such a bad spot they had to commit to someone and be like, we can't try it out for 5 years and then throw it away.
Xbox was in a really bad spot there for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. Getting fresh minds constantly flowing through isn't like a bad thing.
I don't think so either. And maybe it's like, I don't know, how long until Xbox says, hey, let's change the president. I don't know. Phil, your days are numbered, Phil. You better watch out. They're coming for you. But yeah, I agree with you. Change isn't bad. Hopefully there's means more games. That's all I really want. The other thing that I didn't really like about Jim Ryan, which I think he backtracked on given how the PS Plus models worked, is that he did not care about older games at all. Yeah. There's the infamous quote where he was looking at Gran Turismo 2 and he was like, who would want to play that? Like, who cares?
He's
like,
well, didn't get it.
It's like, actually, a lot of people, Jim, want to play older games.
Well, like you said, they've been kind of going back on that. So
definitely. So, yeah. All right. Well, unless you have anything else to add to that, we'll just
Godspeed, Jim.
Rest in peace. I mean, he's not dead, but
But rest in peace. You're dead to us now. So
you're dead to me. You're not affiliated with a video game company. Don't even talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. All right, our last story. This one's just kind of interesting. Probably won't have much to say about it. But following a license disagreement, EA and FIFA have finally split after over a decade of partnership. The FIFA games, for now, are no more. All previous FIFA games have been delisted from storefronts across all platforms. Along with this, EA's new football game has been named EA FC 23, FC standing for Football Club. This, along with FIFA copyright materials, are the only things that have really changed from the game. All their modes and gameplay mechanics have been retained from the previous iterations. It is clear that EA and FIFA will not be partnering anytime soon, but that doesn't close the door for future FIFA games. FIFA will, and probably has already started, looking for future partners in the video game sphere. While not as popular, other developers like Konami and their PES series, which is Pro Evolution Soccer, have found success. Adding the FIFA monogram to their titles might give them the sales boost they need to dethrone EA as the market leader for soccer games or football, whatever you want to say. If you're wrong, you say football. If you're right, you say soccer.
True.
Big shock for me about this was that all the FIFA games are gone.
Yeah, that's the shocking part, is that they're just all gone now.
Yeah, because I knew we talked about this license thing and how it wasn't going to be called FIFA anymore and things like that. But it was like leading up to the release of FC 23. It was like the couple days before. It was just like, they're gone. Like you can't buy them anymore. Sorry. Physical.
It's kind of a thing, right? Like FIFA's been around for a long time, so.
Oh yeah, I put over a decade because I didn't know when the first FIFA game was. I think it started on 360 and PS3.
No, it had to. I thought it started before then.
All right, you know what? You're 1993. You're fair.
Yeah,
you're true.
Yeah.
Shows how much I give a fuck about FIFA.
I'm like, I remember playing on the PlayStation 2 days. Like, I knew it was before then.
10 years, 30 years, we're splitting hairs at this point, same
Same thing.
thing. But yeah, it's crazy. And it's just, I think this is becoming our new Star Wars and Halo thing, where it's like digital futures are bad. Digital only
It
is
sucks,
bad.
right? It just the delisting part of it. Yeah.
And every time someone makes argument like they won't actually do that, it's fine, only in certain scenarios, and then you wake up, every FIFA game's gone.
Listen, I like having the option. I do, but like there's a reason I've never bought a digital only console. Like I want to be able to get the physically stuff.
Yeah, you need that option because like as much as I don't care about FIFA, I do enjoy playing it every once in a while. And of course, if you already bought the games, they're there. But also when it comes to sports games, I'm the guy who waits a few years and I'll get like the 2020 version or the 2021 version this year. So if I was doing that
super cheap.
So if I was doing that for FIFA digitally, because they go on sale pretty cheap digitally too, but then it's like, oh, they're gone now. Heaven forbid. I haven't looked up the physical prices. I'm sure they're not crazy expensive, but you never know. Like
yeah, you never know. But it's also, especially around here, nobody's gonna give a shit. But it is FIFA.
Yeah, it's the most. I think it is the most popular sports game. Like out of
no, it is internationally. It by far.
Yeah. So it's a big deal. I'm sure a lot of people, but also this is a weird one because sports games are just so like disposable. You buy it, next new one comes out, you don't ever touch that one again, for the most part.
Yeah.
So I wonder if anyone actually does care about all of them going away, except for like me. Like because they're a little different. But I don't know. That's it though. That's the news.
That's it. No, nothing else happened.
Yeah, nothing else happened. Roger, as always, we end the show with the biggest releases of the week.
Yeah.
Tradition dictates that I ask you which one you would like.
I almost said it for you.
Do you want the first one or the second one?
I'll do the first one.
Unfortunately, there's no Japanese ass words.
It is Japanese. Pikachu is a Japanese word.
What?
It's just one we all know.
Whatever. Just read it. I'm not arguing with you about this.
Detective Pikachu returns for the Switch only. This new adventure follows Tim Goodman and his partner, a wisecracking Pikachu with the ability to communicate with Tim, as they attempt to solve the ongoing mystery behind the disappearance of Tim's father. The mystery unfolds in Rhyme City, a place where humans and Pokemon coexist and support each other. Partner Pokemon and wild Pokemon alike wander the city alongside the people who live there. When there's a case to be solved, Tim Goodman and Pikachu are the perfect team for the job. Tim is a university student who is still searching for the truth about his missing father, Harry. Joining Tim on his search is Harry's former partner, the self-proclaimed Great Detective Pikachu. With his ability to talk to both Tim and Pokemon, Pikachu is able to gather clues from his fellow Pokemon to assist in the investigation.
Wait. Okay, this is the sequel, right?
I don't know. That sounded like the first game to me. It'd be kind of weird if...
Did you play the first game?
No, but it'd be kind of weird if they never figured out the whole missing father thing.
Exactly, but I didn't play the first game, but I saw the movie, and the movie was him trying to find his father.
Yeah. Did you like the movie, by the way?
It was okay.
I thought it was all right.
I watched it once, never went back to it again.
I watched it twice, and I enjoyed it both times.
I'm going to be honest. That one kid, who's probably not a kid, he's probably my age or older, he was in Jurassic World 2.
He sure was.
He was in that Dungeons & Dragons movie.
He definitely
was. He was in Detective Pikachu. He was in something else big as well.
He plays the same character in all movies.
He plays the same character, and also you know what it was? He was in a video game. He was in one of those fucking what's it called? Like The Quarry. He was in The Quarry.
Oh, was he really?
And he was terrible in The Quarry.
Okay, to be fair, everybody's terrible in those games. Like,
okay, but he was especially. He sounded like, I don't know if he was actually just so fucking disinterested and asleep, or he was trying to like do a thing, like he was trying to do his voice acting voice. But he was awful in it, and I just don't really like him as an actor because I think he's just not great.
I think he's fine in that type of role, but it's
probably because he just plays. it's just the same role every movie. So that's
But
probably
it
why
is,
I'm like,
yeah, it's the same. He has yet to really play a different character.
yeah. But the movie was fine. I thought the real life Pokemon were they're interesting. It's kind of funny. Led to some
So,
funny things.
so what was the original plot of Detective Pikachu about?
I don't know. I have no idea. I could uh Detective Pikachu
I
not
guess they just,
returns.
I guess they just never found his father in the first game.
It's kind of weird thing, right? You'd think that
I
they
don't
would
get it.
um the game begins with a peculiar talking Pikachu who claims to be a great detective. One day, Pikachu encounters a boy named Tim Goodman who is able to understand what he is saying. They are immediately put to the test, retrieving a stolen necklace from thieving Apom. Afterwards, they head back to Baker Detective Agency and meet Mike Baker and Secretary Amanda Blackstone, both of whom were close to Harry Goodman, Tim's father and Pikachu's owner. Harry has gone missing following a mysterious car crash.
just what? Just watch the movie. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't even get the game. Just watch the movie.
So there's 2 games and a movie, and they're all about his dad missing. All right, sounds good.
Makes no sense.
Do you think in the movie Pikachu was his dad? Do you think?
You mean like in the game? That'd be so funny. Hopefully.
You know what? That was the most jarring part because I fucking forgot who voiced Pikachu until I remembered it was Ryan Reynolds,
Mm-hmm.
which is the most bizarre thing in the world. Like,
especially because he still does like the Ryan Reynolds humor. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he's just dude. Ryan Reynolds did Deadpool, and then it's like, okay, there it is. I'm Ryan Reynolds now, which I love him.
He found his brand and he stuck to it.
Yeah, I love him, but I love watching older movies because he's not. He starts getting annoying after a while. It's a little obnoxious. Anyways, this is what are we talking about? Tony Hawk.
Yeah, you're talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
I have this game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Play the fully remastered Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 games in one epic collection. Rebuilt from the ground up in incredible HD. Skate as the legendary Tony Hawk and the original pro roster, plus new pros. Listen to songs from an air-defining soundtrack along with new music. Hit insane trick combos with iconic handling of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series. How many times are I going to say that? Play all the original modes and go head-to-head with local 2-player modes. Show off your style and creativity with upgraded Create-A-Pack and Create-A-Skater features. Compete against players from around the world in multiplayer modes and leaderboards. That's all they got. That creator... Oh, it's Create-A-Park. My bad. Not Create-A-Pack. Create-A-Park and Create-A-Skater features. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. Yeah, I never actually played this game. I got the limit. Well, okay, wait. I've played this game back in 2002. I never played the HD one.
That's the thing is like, man, these games are really neat, but god damn, are they 2000 games? Like 2002 games.
What's the point of this game? You got to get the high score.
Yeah,
okay, but what else? That's it.
Skate.
You skate, man. I don't know. What do you want? It's a skateboarding game. You skate.
That was enough. That was enough back in the day.
And you know what? They knew making this HD collection, dude. They're like, what if we bundle the first 2 games? Because there's not a lot to this. Yeah. Like, how do we justify $50 for Skate?
Yeah. Back in the day, you would, as a kid, you'd play that shit for hours. But nowadays, you play for 15 minutes, and you're like, oh yeah.
Dude, back in the day, I would just leave it on to listen to music.
Like, oh, I know, dude. Yeah, same.
It's like, you know, for all you fucking Gen Zers out there, this is before iTunes even and Spotify and all that stuff.
Yep.
Either you had the CD or you had Tony Hawk, something like that. So. Pick of the week, Roger. Are you going for Detective Pikachu Part 3 or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Part 2?
Well, Detective Pikachu just straight up confuses me at this point, so I'm going to go with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
I might have to just dive in deep
Yeah,
into the Detective
you
Pikachu
might have to
series.
be the sacrificial lamb here because
I'm
it's not
just
going to be me.
intrigued. I'm interested. I'm like, what is happening in the Detective Pikachu universe? Didn't they
Yeah,
port the original to Switch?
I think so. I think so.
It's like
From what I understand,
$10.
they're very like simple puzzle games though.
$10,
Yeah, for $10.
maybe 15, no more. I'm not made of money. Okay, like
You're not going to get that Ghost Trick Party Detective game or whatever that's called.
I'm sorry, what?
The that Ghost Trick game that they're porting over to the Switch
I have no idea what you're talking about.
for like $20. Oh, yes you do. We've talked about it before.
Did we? Have we talked about games before? Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective.
Yeah, that game. Yeah,
Yeah, we did talk about this. I do remember. Initial release date 2010.
It was on the iPhone. I'm almost positive.
Is it still not? It's $30.
It's $30.
Spending
God
on an iPhone game from 2010. I don't care how good it is.
Jesus, never.
It's got a 98% positive rating.
It's a neat game, but I swear to God, it was an iPhone game.
They have the fucking soundtrack as one of the content. It's $15. You want the music? That's half the game, apparently.
Well, I was gonna say, just get this for cheaper on the phone, and they're porting it to Switch, but no, never mind. Go play Detective Pikachu.
Well, how much is it on the Switch? It's a Nintendo game, so it's probably. Is it on Switch? All this stuff is just Detective Pikachu Returns. That's all this is. As the most pertinent video game news podcast, we're slacking.
Just, you know what? Take it all back. Just watch the movie. You'll get a better experience. Don't even worry about the game.
Game results for Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu Returns. Nothing else. Nada. Well, there you have it. Maybe this is just a remake.
Is anybody going to get this? Everybody's so busy playing other shit. Who's going to play this game?
What are you talking about? Like, this is all everyone talks about. City Skylines 2 Console Edition got delayed because they were scared of Detective Pikachu Returns.
They didn't want that competition. They didn't want another Horizon situation.
Spider-Man 2 is going to rue the day that it decided to come out the same month as Detective Pikachu. Rue it, I tell you.
You're right. I'm sorry. I misspoke.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Just talking about Pikachu. Jake has it on 3DS.
Dude, that plot just like broke both of us. Like,
it doesn't make sense. There's 3 different things. It's the same plot. His dad's missing at the end of the first game. They just go, Dad's gone, but I get Pikachu now. That's cool.
I was about to ask if Jake's beat it, but I already know the answer to that.
Yeah, he didn't beat it. He bought it came with a big fucking Pikachu, like a massive amiibo. I remember he had that because he does things like that. But then, I have like this fucking. What was this? I hate Sonic. It's sitting right here and it stares at me every day because there's nowhere else to put it in the room. It sits right by me. No room to talk. Oh, God. All my Animal Crossing figures just fell. All right, we're ending this. Roger, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah.
Thank you for powering through all the technical difficulties.
Dude, what a chaotic session. I loved it.
This whole... What are we batting at? Like, we just say, like, it is a 500, right? Like, half the time there's something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like half the time there's something. One day we might, like, get competent at
this. We had a really good, like streak of, like good runs, like, no problems.
And then I moved. That's really what it was that I moved.
I was going to say Ida joined. I was going to blame her, but I can also blame you.
And then Ida joined, and it's just like...
I just ruined it all.
What the hell? So, but yeah, thank you for joining me. Hopefully next week some other people can join me. But if not, honestly, fuck it. This will just be the Andrew and Roger show. It is what it is, Like, sorry. It's what the people want.
What it be. Yeah.
It do be what it be. Have you seen that video with the Yu-Gi-Oh guy and like pot agreed? And like, you can't do that. I do be what it be, Yugi.
It do be what it be, Yugi.
What's the other thing? Rate us kindly, please, on podcast services and on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Appreciate that. Patreon.com/slightlyemp if you want to toss a couple bucks our way. You don't need to, it's all good in the neighborhood. I'm not poor now anymore. I'm poor, but I'm not like broke anymore. So like $20 a month, I can afford that for podcast hosting. A year ago though, where were you guys? You really could have like, really, it's okay, whatever.
We had to suffer through it to earn our place.
It's fine. It's fine. We're still here, barely, but still here. Facebook.com/slightlyemp. X.com/slightlyemp because that's what it's called now. And all the other shit. Same time next week.
Same time.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.